According to the Fon people of Benin, Sun and Moon were once best friends. Together, they ruled over the skies as the two beloved children of Sky, their mother. Both Sun and Moon had children, brilliant beings who sparkled in the heavens. Sky, wise and fair, gave both her children and grandchildren their own domains. Sun, you and your children shall reign over the day, she declared, and Moon, you and your children will illuminate the night. Sun's children were golden and radiant, lighting up the world with their brilliance. Moon's children, though softer and silver in their glow, were cherished by men who lived below Sky. Men loved Moon's gentle light, which gave them peace after the blazing heat of the day. They all lived in perfect harmony for many millennia, and Sky was happy with her creations. But, as it often happens, trouble began to brew. A darkness crept over Moon's heart. She saw that Sun's children shone brighter than hers, and the stars often whispered about how magnificent they were. No matter how hard she tried, her children were simply soft and silver compared to Sun's golden brilliance and the radiance of his children. The stars whispered about it, and even the clouds couldn't hide the envy creeping into Moon's heart. Even Sky herself, Moon felt, sometimes seemed to linger longer in Sun's domain. To make things worse, men, who lived below on the land, complained about the power of the sun and his children. "It's too hot," they grumbled. "We can't plant crops, we can't hunt, and the ground burns our feet." Meanwhile, when Moon and her children ruled the night, men would gather around fires and tell stories, smiling up at the soft glow of the moonlight. Moon's envy deepened as men grumbled louder about Sun. "The sun burns the earth," they said. "He scorches our crops, dries our rivers, and makes the ground too hot to walk on." One night, Moon overheard a man cursing Sun. "If only the sun were gone," he muttered, "we could live in peace under Moon's kind light." Moon, seeing an opportunity to outshine her brother, descended quietly from the sky and visited the man. "I heard your cries," she said, her voice soft and mysterious. "You suffer under Sun's rule." The man knelt before her. "Oh, Moon, your light is gentle, your ways kind. If only you reigned over both day and night." "Moon," he called out, "you're the clever one. You should do something about Sun and his terrible children. Let's cool things down around here." Moon tilted her silvery face and listened. The idea appealed to her. Perhaps, if Sun's children were gone, her children would finally shine as brightly as she dreamed. Moon tilted her head, pretending modesty. "If I were to help you, what would you do for me in return?" "Anything," the man said. "We will honor you, dear Moon. We will exalt you above all things, greater than Sun, greater even than Sky herself." Moon smiled. "Then trust me. I will take care of Sun later that night." And for the first time, Moon only showed a quarter of her face in the sky. While other men wondered if she was feeling shy, Moon was actually up to something. She slipped away from her post, gliding quietly into a dark cave where she met with the man who had spoken to her. Together, they hatched a plan. The next day, Moon approached Sun, her face somber. "Brother, I must speak with you. I have heard troubling things." Sun, his light flickering with concern, asked, "What is it, sister?" "Men are afraid of us," Moon said gravely. "They say our children make their lives unbearable. Your children burn the earth, and they say mine reveal their hiding places at night. They fear us so much that they are planning to destroy us." Sun's light dimmed with alarm. "Destroy us? But why would they do such a thing?" "They believe they must rid the sky of us to survive," Moon continued. "We cannot let that happen." "What can we do?" Sun asked desperately. Moon pretended to think deeply. "If men fear our children, we must hide them. The ocean is vast and deep. It will keep them safe from harm." "Hide children into the ocean?" Sun hesitated. "That seems Extreme. Moon placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. Brother, this is the only way to protect them. Trust me, I will do the same with my children. Reluctantly, Sun agreed. That evening, he gathered his radiant children into a sack. They sparkled and danced inside, unaware of their fate. As children often do, they thought it was all a new game. Meanwhile, Moon hid her children in a cave. She filled her own sack, not with her children, but with smooth white pebbles she had collected from the riverbed. The two met by the great river. The sky remained dark as the two stood by the great river that flowed into the ocean. Moon, clutching her sack of pebbles, stood solemnly beside Sun. "This is for their safety," she said. Together, they cast their sacks into the rushing water, which flowed and flowed and flowed into the great ocean. As Moon's sack of pebbles sank silently, Sun's children flailed beneath the waves, their golden light dimming as they disappeared into the depths. Then they went back home. That night, Sun looked to the sky and gasped. Moon and all her children were still there, glowing softly as ever. "You lied to me," Sun roared, his fury shaking the heavens. "You tricked me into throwing my children away." Moon feigned innocence. "Brother, what are you saying? My sack is gone. My children are safe beneath the waves, just like yours." But Sun was not fooled. Furious, he stormed to the ocean and began searching for his children. One by one, he pulled them from the water, but they were no longer the radiant beings they had been. They had transformed, their glowing forms softening and shifting until they became the first fishes. He tried to lift them out of the water, but each time he did so, they gasped for breath, and he threw them back in. He tried over and over, failing at each time, until he accepted the terrible fact that his children could no longer live with him in the sky. They were now bound to water, their new home. They had all been transformed into fishes. Though they could no longer live in the sky, they retained a faint glow in the water, a memory of what they once were. Heartbroken, Sun left them in the ocean, knowing he could not bring them back. Every evening, he descends to the horizon, dipping into the ocean to greet his lost children. And every morning, he rises again, his fiery anger renewed. As for Moon, she remains wary of her brother's wrath. She constantly runs from him across the sky, hiding her face in fear. Sometimes, she shows only half of her face, and other times just a quarter, as if to make herself smaller and harder to catch. And so, Sun continues to chase Moon, and Moon continues to flee. Their eternal dance lights up the heavens, while men marvel at the beauty and balance of day and night. Deep in the rivers, lakes, and oceans, the fishes swim, glowing softly as a reminder of the sun's lost children and the moon's cunning betrayal. And that is how the Fon people explain the origin of fishes and the endless pursuit of the sun and moon.
Thanks for watching Timbuktu. Be sure to like, hit that notification button to never miss a video, and share it widely to watch more videos like this.